Hello everyone. Today I just thought I'll do a video which is a little bit light-hearted, something slightly different from what I'd normally do on free trade. Basically, a little while ago I opened an account, a cryptocurrency account with Binance, and I was sort of trading on Binance, and it was basically I was hoping to sort of like make some money trading on Binance with cryptocurrency. So I tried it out for a bit, and it didn't really work out very well for me. And obviously I stopped putting money into it. So now all I have in there is about $184. Which is what you can see on the screen now. I decided to just keep that amount of money. I don't add any more money to it now. I haven't added any money to it for God knows how long, probably a whole year. But I've still kept the $184 that you can see on the screen in the account. So what I did was to set myself a challenge, just a bit of fun really, to see how far I can go to get to 1 Bitcoin. So at the moment you can see that the $184 that I've got translates to about 0.017 Bitcoin. So I just thought I'll play a little bit of a fun game and see how far how far I could get to trading up to 1 Bitcoin from this current amount of Bitcoin that I have, which is 0.0179. So what you're looking at here is a trading app called 3 Commas, and basically you are able to connect to a Bitcoin exchange, which is Binance, and basically set your commands from 3 Commas, which basically executes your trade on 3 Commas. Very, very confusing, long story, very confusing world Bitcoin is, but hopefully you get the general gist of what I'm doing. If I go over to the next page now. So on this page sets out all of my trades, and you can see it goes all the way back to, well, June. That's as far back as this would show, 19th of June. So obviously the ones in red are trades where I've made losses, and the ones in green are where I've made profits. Just to give you an example, just this one on the 23rd of June, I basically opened the trade at 11,208 Bitcoin. The Bitcoin price, a US dollar price of 11,208, and obviously I closed that trade with a profit of $18.45, a 14% increase. So since then I've just been trying to see if I can make any profits doing it this way. So I seem to be getting the hang of things, I think. The reality is there's just no logic to it. It's literally gambling, if I'm being honest. That's why I literally do not add any more money to this. I just basically use what I've got and see how far it takes me. So at the moment, the most recent trade that I've sort of set up is I basically executed the trade I entered the trade at 10,257, and now it's currently trading at 10,317. And what I did is I set what is called a stop, a take profit, and a trailing take profit. So once it hits the target amount for taking profit of 10,513, then it basically anything over that, it trails at 0.5% of that amount, and basically keeps the profit. And I'm guaranteed that profit and it could keep going up as far as it goes. And if it comes down and it hits 0.5, it closes the deal at that point. So really straightforward. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to monitor this. I just leave it, and it just basically does itself, and we'll see how far it goes. So I just thought I'll just do a little bit of a fun intro on that, and just to let you into the world of cryptocurrency. I would not recommend anyone to do this. If you've not got into cryptocurrency and you're thinking of getting into it, don't. Don't. That's my honest advice. It's not really worth it. It's a good way of burning money. That's all that is. That's all that it is. But if you were thinking of doing it, then 3 commas might be a good start for you. Obviously, as you can see, that's what I'm using now, and I seem to do relatively well on it. I wouldn't say well, but relatively okay. But I could easily lose everything just as much as I could get, just as quickly as I've gained it. So this purely is gambling. There's no economic value in any of this. I would not recommend this. This is not investing. Do not put your hard-earned investment into this. This is purely fun for me, and I thought why not just use this as an opportunity to just show you whether or not I'll succeed in this challenge to get to 1 Bitcoin or not. So every now and again, if I execute a trade, then I'll give you an update to see how well the trade has gone or how badly it has gone. So you could just simply use me as an experiment to see how this journey goes in terms of my attempt to get to 1 Bitcoin. But there we are. On another fun note, I'm amazed by the number of different types of coins that are out there. Oh, by the way, before I even get into that, the way this works is I trade between 2 cryptocurrencies, and that's how you make the money. That's how you make the gain or make the loss, because you buy from you transact from one cryptocurrency to another, and the difference is how you make your profit by one cryptocurrency going up in value against the other, similar to how you would, say for example, trade on Forex, foreign exchange trading, where you trade against the US dollar against the pound. So it's a similar way you trade one cryptocurrency against another cryptocurrency, and it's effectively the same principle. So that's basically the way it works. So the two coins, or 2 cryptocurrencies I'm currently trading is Bitcoin, of course, to USDT, and USDT is basically US dollar tether. So USDT is a cryptocurrency. It's called Tether, effectively. A Tether is a cryptocurrency that, as the name would suggest, it tethers itself to the US dollar, which in other words, it basically trails the US dollar. So its value, Tether's value, follows the US dollar value. So whatever the US dollar's current value is, that's what USDT's value is going to be. So it's a virtual way of trading Bitcoin against the US dollar, but in fact what you're doing is trading Bitcoin against Tether. Obviously, Tether being tethered to the US dollar, it's more stable than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a very, very volatile cryptocurrency. So that's just something that's worth noting. But there are so many other cryptocurrencies out there. They call them altcoins, which I guess is a short form for saying alternative coins, but they're called altcoins. There's so many of them. They've got weird and wonderful names. They're really, really odd. and some of them make sense, some of them make absolutely no sense whatsoever to me. They may to other people, obviously they probably make sense to the owners, but I would not recommend anyone, even if you were to decide that you wanted to trade on a cryptocurrency, I would expressly advise against trading on any of those altcoins. They're extremely volatile. If you thought Bitcoin is volatile, you haven't seen anything yet. The other altcoins are really volatile. There are some older ones which are slightly more stable, like Ethereum, but then again, you just can't be too sure about them. If you've never done it before, don't do it. It's the simplest answer I could say. I can't say it enough. I know I've said it a few times already, but I'm just being fair here. But let me just show you some of these coins here. So these are some of the currencies that you can trade on the Bitcoin exchange, on Binance. Yeah, this is basically shows what's available on Binance. But there's some really strange currencies here. Lisk. What on earth is Lisk? Spade. What the heck is Spade? Very weird. Mixin. What mixin? That mixer. Really strange. Yeah, just very odd names. Golem. Golem reminds me of Clash of Clans or Pokemon. And where they get these names from, God only knows. But yeah, very odd, very odd. But yeah, that's the world of cryptocurrency for you. Gambling isn't the right word for it, but let me know what you think. It'd be interesting to get your thoughts on the cryptocurrency thing. One of the reasons why I say that you need to be wary of altcoins is this whole idea of pump and dump. Pump and dump is a real thing in the altcoin world, and usually it's around coins which are usually very low volume, and where someone can really come in with a large sum of money, gradually build up the coin, and it then gives the impression as if the price of the coin is rising. So that basically lures a lot of people to throw their money in there thinking, oh, they've got a rise coming on. And then all of a sudden they pump in a huge amount of money, and which raises it up to a really high price, inflated price, and they dump it straight away into the market, and you're then absolutely stuck right at the bottom. You're probably like 50% down on your initial from your initial buy position, and that's a pump and dump, and a lot of people get caught out by this, and that is why I would say stay away from altcoins if you're not used to it. If it's not something that you've done before, you're better off staying well away from it, or otherwise you'll get seriously burned. I'll show you an example here of a pump and dump scenario that had happened in one of these particular altcoins, V Dimension. So I'm going to tap on V Dimension, and if I go to the 7 days, so you can see in the last 7 days, as you can see in the chart, there's this green line which shows that it's gone up, and it sort of like trails for a while, probably about roughly around a day. It trails at that level, which would have obviously enticed quite a few people to put their money in there, saying, oh wow, this might go up into the skies, might go up into heaven, and all of a sudden, bam, you get slammed all the way down. So if you'd bought in around 1.7 or around 1.75, 1.8, and then all of a sudden it's down, all the way down to 1.3, 1.2 or something, and it just stays stuck there. And even this on the screen, it's just absolutely stay away from it. If you don't know what you're doing, if you've never done it, stay away from the altcoins. They are recipes for disaster, especially if you're putting large sums of money in it. You're better off putting your money in your pocket. Don't do it. If you don't believe me, if you want to try it, good luck to you. But if you're sensible and you listen to me, okay. Anyway, peace.